Episode 581.
What's there to be so smug about?
Before Chen Guo could even respond, a voice suddenly emerged from the crowd. This kind of long-awaited, dramatic entrance was always met with eager anticipation. Everyone turned to look, spotting a man who was staring at the two troublemakers with utter disdain as he said,
With skills like that, how could you possibly be a match for Lord Grimm?
The whole arena was down, and when this guy opened his mouth, it turned out he wasn't talking about how great he was, but about everyone else. And yet, he still managed to look so high and mighty, as if he were the savior. Chen Guo looked at the speaker and recognized him immediately. It was the player whose character was named Ascend. He saw Chen Guo looking his way and immediately spoke up.
Boss, where's Lord Grimm? Get him over here. This kind of trash is easy to deal with.
Lord Grimm!
The name Lord Grimm dropped, and everyone was hit with a wave of pure shock. Few people who play Glory these days are unaware of the name Lord Grimm, but the fact that Lord Grimm is at the Happy Internet Cafe, that hasn't quite spread yet. Ma Chenyi's face fell when he heard the news. He was silent for a long moment before finally saying,
Lord Grimm is one of your people?
Lord Grimm, ignoring a 20-level gap, wielding a silver weapon, and completing the Heavenly Domain challenge without a single loss from start to finish, has already become a figure of legend. So that's why Shen Guo was so confident she had a real powerhouse hidden away.
What's the matter? Thinking of giving up?
Ma Chenyi was genuinely afraid because the myth Lord Grimm was creating was unprecedented in the history of Glory. The key point is, he hasn't lost a single match. That's the mark of a true, thoroughbred troublemaker. But I'm already here. Turning tail and running now would be even more humiliating than losing after a fight. Ma Chenyi was utterly miserable. He thought back on his arrogant, headlong charge into the room and just wanted to bang his head against a wall.
So it's Lord Grimm. I'm not scared of you.
His heart was already quaking, but Ma Chenyi kept up the tough talk, even though his face was a picture of pure humiliation.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Too bad. Lord Grimm isn't here today.
He's not here?
Ma Chenyi was puzzled again. With Lord Grimm not around, Chen Guo shouldn't have this much confidence. Why does she still look so confident?
However, I never said that Lord Grimm is the only expert I have here right now.
What do you mean by that?
See? Here they come.
Chen Guo said, pointing at the screen. In the match, the Blade Master had just won. While there were quite a few onlookers, they were all Happy's patrons who knew exactly what was going on, so no one rashly stepped up to challenge. Just then, a newcomer strode in and planted himself directly opposite the Blade Master.
Who is this?
He's one of mine.
Where is it?
Ma Chenyi looked around in all directions.
Over here.
Somewhere, a hand was raised slightly.
Are we ready to begin?
Begin.
Ma Chenyi declared sternly. A launcher entered the arena. The match began, and the launcher immediately started weaving across the field. The launcher is a pure ranged class. To win, you have to maintain your distance from the opponent. However, the launcher is a class with relatively slow movement. To maintain high-speed positioning, the skill of aerial cannon fire must be mastered. And the launcher on the field right now was pulling it off perfectly. Amidst the constant barrage of cannon fire, he maintained his distance from the Blade Master, patiently whittling him down bit by bit from afar. This kind of playstyle leans towards the cowardly, but whether he can keep it up until the end remains to be seen. The Blade Master player was also showing great patience, carefully watching for an opening. Just as everyone had settled in for a long, drawn-out battle, the situation on the field shifted dramatically. The Blade Master, who had been patiently waiting for an opening, was somehow suddenly blasted by the launcher's attack. Just as everyone was still taking it lightly, the launcher's attacks came one after another. Explosive shockwaves rippled out in layers. The Blade Master was like a tiny boat struggling in the waves, tossed up and down, only to be shattered to pieces in the end. Then, the words "Glory" flashed before everyone's eyes, and at that moment, all their jaws dropped. The launcher they'd dismissed as a coward had just unleashed a relentless combo, blasting the Blade Master into oblivion. It all happened too fast. Everyone went from dismissive to sensing something was off, to staring in stunned silence as the Blade Master was blasted to pieces. Only then did they snap out of it.
Shit!
Someone let out a startled cry.
Did anyone get that on video?
Another voice called out. The system doesn't automatically record matches in the arena. Someone has to choose to record it. And the room host has the right to disable recordings, though players rarely ever use that function. At the mention of recording, everyone caught on. Everyone knew the Blade Master had lost, but how had it all started? Everyone was a bit stunned. They all wanted to go back and watch a replay, but of course that would require there to be a recording in the first place. So there they were, a whole crowd of people staring at each other in wide-eyed confusion, completely blindsided by the turn of events. Ma Chenyi's face was as dark as thunder. Honestly, he hadn't seen clearly what happened in that instant either, but the result was undeniable. They had lost. They'd boasted about sweeping the entire venue, yet they'd been defeated by the second opponent. And they lost with such seamless, unbroken efficiency. Ma Chenyi kept his head pointed straight ahead, refusing to even glance in Chen Guo's direction. The audience couldn't quite savor that brilliant moment, so they settled for watching the man himself. Seeing someone who talked big get thoroughly stomped is always a crowd pleaser. So Ma Chenyi discovered that not looking at Chen Guo was useless. The weight of everyone's stares was unbearable for him. His pride had just taken a brutal beating. In contrast, the defeated Blade Master player's expression remained fairly composed. He stood up and glanced in the direction of his previous opponent. The other players watching thought, this guy really was a seasoned pro who'd seen it all. In battles like these, no one could remain undefeated forever. Maintaining the right mindset in the face of victory or defeat, that's the mark of a mature, high-level player.